Urban Dictionary defines antipreneur as a person who thinks the opposite way of an entrepreneur. Where an entrepreneur finds an opportunity, an antipreneur finds excuses to lose those same opportunities. An entrepreneur, on the other hand, is no longer just defined as a founder of a company. A collaborative study between Future Workplace and Upwork found that 90% of professionals considered entrepreneurship as someone who sees opportunities and pursues them, rather than just someone who started a company. The question which we are going to try to figure out today is where you fall on the entrepreneurial mindset scale. There are essentially 7 questions for you to answer to help gauge how your mind works. Based on the number you answer yes for, we will be able to figure out where you place on the scale. Right. Thank you for coming in. It says here you're in for an entrepreneurial mindset assessment. Please take a seat. This assessment works best if you answer truthfully. Don't worry if you answer no to anything. These sorts of things are here to help you, not judge you. Firstly, do you go through the world questioning the status quo of all things around you? You see, entrepreneurs are continually trying to understand the world around them. And as they do, sooner or later, they stumble across a new idea or solution to everyday problems that people would never think of. This comes from rarely just accepting things as they are. More often than not, you're picking it apart and rebuilding things differently in your mind more effortlessly than others with a different mindset. Is that a yes or a no? Right, next. Do you have an optimistic outlook for the future? The thing is about an entrepreneurial spirit is that it can't help but believe that anything and everything can be changed, improved, or transformed given enough time. If this is you, so much of the action you take is most likely motivated by the intention to build a better future. In other words, entrepreneurs don't see problems, they see possibilities. Yes or no? Right, next. Do you love to learn new things? Those blessed with an entrepreneurial spirit have an innate confidence in their ability to learn and grow. And in fact, more often than not, they have a bit of a superhero flex. Maybe you routinely bite off more than you can chew with the confidence that you will be able to learn quickly enough to bring the situation under control. If so, that's the entrepreneurial mindset jumping in. Shall I mark you down as a yes or a no? Next, are you a natural leader? Taking charge in tough situations come naturally to the entrepreneurial type. Whether you have a leadership role or not in your work, friend circle, or family life, the likelihood is you find yourself naturally problem solving and leading those around you to a happier outcome. And all of this happens effortlessly for you. Is that a yes or a no? Next, do you have an appetite for risks and challenges? Entrepreneurial spirited people are often described as courageous risk takers and motivated by a good challenge. Whether it's their well-exercised problem-solving muscle or their optimistic disposition or combination of the two, such people routinely find themselves breaking through barriers. Maybe you say yes to opportunities in the full belief you have what it takes to bring about the desired positive outcome. Yes or no? Perfect. Next, failure doesn't scare you. Stopping trying does. It's not that people with an entrepreneurial spirit don't fear failure or have access to buckets of courage or fearlessness. It's that they're at their core action-orientated people. The likelihood is that when you come across something that fails you, you see this as a sign your work is just not finished yet, and you simply bounce back. You will use what you learnt in the supposed failure and simply go at it again, but this time with more knowledge. Shall I put you down as a yes or a no? Perfect. And finally, would you describe yourself as creative and resourceful? You see, the most successful entrepreneurs are resourceful and are able to come to think quick and come up with solutions when life throws a curveball. When you find yourself thinking of new ideas for how you would improve current practices without breaking a semblance of a sweat, it means you have an entrepreneurial spirit. So what do you think? Is that a yes or a no? So, where did you place on the entrepreneurial mindset scale? The score you achieved on this assessment is a snapshot of where you are today. This does not mean you will be in this headspace forever, And in fact, there is a very real possibility your mindset today will be put to a test many a time as you navigate the inevitable work and life stresses. At its core, a mindset is a set of beliefs that shape how you make sense of the world and yourself. Those beliefs are not something you are born with. They are cultivated by your inner self as it is interpreting your life experiences, all of which actually started when you were very young. So say if you've had a number of experiences of being able to problem solve and help others successfully, you'll be more disposed to believe you have the capability to do that again and again at an increasing scale. This will mean you likely place yourself higher on the scale and you proudly call yourself an entrepreneur. Comparatively, if you've had multiple life experiences that have beat the optimism out of you, there is very likely an outcome that you will be feeling victimized by the world around you, and so now you are inherently pessimistic about work and life, and so of today's date, you identify more with the entrepreneur mindset. Keeping all of this in mind, the question now is whether it is possible to nurture your mindset, to place higher on the scale. And if you are already in a headspace where you are happy where it is it possible for you to manage yourself, to stay there and not slide further back down the scale? It all depends on whether you essentially have a fixed mindset or one of growth. Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck explains that if you have a fixed mindset, you believe your abilities and the way you are fixed traits, and therefore you can't be changed. The language that you most likely use are statements such as, "That's just who I am, I can't change. If I don't try, then I won't fail. That job position is totally out of my league." If this sounds familiar to you, the likelihood of you changing your score on the entrepreneurial assessment scale is frankly very slim. If, on the other hand, you have a growth mindset where you believe that your talents and abilities can be developed over time through effort and persistence, and you routinely say statements such as, "I'm a constantly evolving work in progress," or "I only fail when I stop trying," or maybe "That job position looks challenging, let me apply for it," then you have a genuine chance to be able to nurture your current entrepreneur score on the scale to a higher one, or maintain where you already are. Whilst an entrepreneurial mindset can sometimes accidentally occur as a result of a person's childhood and early life experiences, first child syndrome, it absolutely is something that can be cultivated if you so wish. The entrepreneurial thinking emerges from a growth mindset, which opens you up to learn and develop. It is then up to you to practice the muscles of curiosity, optimism, self-learning, leadership, comfort with risk and challenges, preventing fear-driven actions, creativity, and resourcefulness. Saying that, regular check-ins with the entrepreneurial mindset scale would be useful because, as with things like this, we always risk sliding back down the scale without even realizing it. I have linked my article on the topic below, which has a PDF version of the test that is free for you to download whenever you wish to repeat the test and calculate your new score. Whether you're an antipreneur or an entrepreneur, I hope you found this video useful. Thank you very much for your time today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Hi, my name is Priyanka. You might just be one of my most favorite people in the world. Do you want to know why? Because you've watched the video to the end and you subscribed to the channel, right?